afford to miss. And when he comes by, he is declared a man. He had to go to the hunting ground, was 3 days away. He came back in 6 days, so that means he must have found his animal the first day. Came back with the proof. Now he's growing up. His mother is seeking the friendship of the son of the king, Jobei. This son is called Ding Iswayo, the wanderer. Ding Iswayo befriended Chaka, but after an argument with the father, he goes and lives among the coast and lives among the whites. He noticed something when the whites are fighting among themselves. They keep running at each other in a straight line, and they get killed quicker that way. Ding Iswayo comes back to Zulu land, revolutionized Zulu warfare, and introduced a concept of warfare that still exists, broken field running. If you're running a zigzag line and someone's shooting at you, that cuts down on their chances of hitting you. That doesn't mean you won't be hit, but you're reducing the odds. Now it's in the infantry of the world. If you're moving forward on a battlefield, don't move in a straight line. He introduced broken field running. He revolutionizes the Zulu weapon, the assegai. He saw that the Zulu throwing weapon was too unwieldy. He revolutionized the shield. He makes a shield with matted with wax. So if you would throw a spear dead at the shield, it would glide off instead of penetrate. Now Chaka and Ding Iswayo is revolutionizing warfare in southern Africa. And Chaka tells the Zulus, take off your shoes, it's making too much noise. The Zulu would move on a city and a group, and so silently, you don't know they're there. Then they would stand up and begin to bang the weapon against the shield. And then you know that not only you were in war, you were surrounded. You ain't heard nothing. A movie called Zulu, who did everything wrong, show all of the regiments in one, all together. But the Zulu fought in a 3-regiment formation: white shield, brown shield, black shield. The white shield regiment made from the hide of white cows. The shield made from the hide of white cows. These were the trainees. Their job was just to hit the enemy and get out of the way, just to let the enemy know the battle had started. The brown shield regiment would come in and finish if they could. But the black shield regiment was the Zulus' elite guard. Once they entered the battlefield, they had to win or die. They never left the battlefield with victory or death. One or the other. They were specially trained. Special beer was brewed for them. Special women were trained to marry them. That was the only branch of the Zulu war group permitted to marry. So you can see now how men fought to get from one regiment to the other. In days before the war, before battle, Chaka isolated the men from the women. He said that warfare is passion, that's the dispensing of passion, and so is sex. If you lose it in the bedroom, you don't have it for the battlefield. So hold it up for a little while. After the battle, your pleasure. get the battle over first. So because of the special treatment he gave that group, it was always striving to get into that group. Now, what you have to understand, looking at Clarke's best years, is that his mission was accomplished, is that he was to hold the whites to the coast and not let them come inland. And he did that. And whites could not come inland without his permission. And when certain Zulu ceremonies took place, he did not give them permission at all. He was the master. And had he lived, there had been no South African situation, because there had been no whites there. It wasn't under control of blacks. All right, admittedly he was a dictator. Admittedly he was ruthless. But had he succeeded, even killed 50,000 more Africans, he could have saved 5 million. Now, if you're part of the statistic that might have to go, I'm sure you're not interested. But that is a fact. Whites were weak enough to be defeated then, and he had a chance. All he had to do is to unify Southern African blacks. And Clarke never fought the whites. Another fallacy a lot of people don't seem to be able to deal with. Clarke fought other blacks in order to bring them into a Zulu federation to save Southern Africa from European domination. His best years were the years, now, when Ding Isweyo came home from the course, and 2 of them revolutionized Zulu warfare. Clarke's father died. Ding Isweyo installed Clarke as king of the Zulus. When Ding Isweyo died and Jobe died, Clarke combined the Mtiwas with the regular Zulus. In the next 9 years, he was the most powerful force in all Southern Africa. He built the Zulu Empire during that period. He would move to the east, he would move to the west, conquering and consolidating. And many people, many groups that did not want to fight him joined him. One was another B group called the Borolongs. Their main king had died, and they were under weak leadership. And they stayed with Clarke until they found a strong king named Morake. Now, with the Borolongs working with him, with all the branches of the Zulus working with him, he would move further to the south, and further to the west. 2/3 of South Africa under his control. Discipline, the absolute best. Many times the Zulu would trot 50 miles a day and back just to keep in shape. At his best, he was the supreme leader of Southern Africa. He faced the people still existing in South Africa. He was never physically defeated when he faced the people called the Swazis. The Swazis wouldn't fight him. The Swazis fought from ambush. Didn't have shields of any consequence. Long, hard sticks. They would sneak up and hit the Zulu on their leg and move out of the way. It's aggravating. It get on your nerves. Climb up in a tree and jump on your head. Until Clarke declared it a stalemate and spared the Swazis. That's about as close to defeat as he ever got. He said they're crazy. He said that they had a woman ruler, and the Swazis, he thought because a Swazi man rises each morning and goes to the door of his mother and prostrates himself, and he won't rise until she gives him permission to rise and said, "Rise, precious fruit of my womb," and go forth for the day. He said, these men must be weaklings. He found different. But he eventually learned better. About 4 years before his death, that'd be about 1824, one of his great warriors, known in history as the British call him Moselekatse,